I want you and that young man to tie that knot. I'm gonna pray for you. And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes.
It's the O.N.E.P.
Get out the lines then. He helped get off the island.
Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to the children? Why you lying to the children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been to bed. Man, they know they no contest. Yahweh, he do the best. We will not see you tomorrow. Cause you cannot go to thought. All the sons and all the daughters. Standing hard with big manotas. But my son, he made me Taurus. On that line, I'm still a Taurus. Karate kicking Chuck Norris, 4-5 on my waist. If he started, would not hesitate to get retarded. Oh Lord, he ain't got a PowerPoint, he forest. He's running through the hills like a Philistine. G-Hawk hitting Hamites with the guillotine. Situation turned up with the Ratchet team. JJ 7000 to debate me. I know them haters gon' hate me, but he won't debate me. Pistol off safety. He respond, come wake me. If I don't get up, nigga shake me. Really give me up. If he don't show up, then he fake G. I touch down and make these nigga nuts hate me. Dear brother. Ballin' and crawling all the way from H-Time. Let me get straight to the business. Man, them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? You gon' cry, you gon' get it. Me, I'm like a frog, nigga, ribbit. Of course, it's in the spirit. I just got the Porsche, she can steer it. Michael got the Rorschach and Willie. Lamborghini doors, you better not spill it. Mama's high, say I'm more than just a villain. Mama's cry, arms open wide for her children. Suicide, immortalized as a realist, yeah. Death by cut, black suicide. Let me get straight to the business. Got them lions in the building. Why you lying to them children? Why you lying to them children? RIGHTEOUS. Man, you know I've been in bed. Man, they know they no contest. Yahweh, he do the best. Wow, what's that? Why didn't take it over? Number one debate league, you heard me? When it's up, it's stuck. I'm selling on everything, nigga.
Peace. Welcome to the Lions Den. You know, this is the Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge. I got my sis Karima with me. Say what's up, sis.
Shalom to everybody in the panel. And shalom to everybody in the chat. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You know, y'all catch me on Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge, Facebook, Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge, TikTok, Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge Bingo now. Thanks to Karima. And True Hot 30 on Instagram, and Life Death Conflict on my Facebook page, and not the profile, the page, and Life Death Conflict TV on YouTube. You know, but we about to get up some good stuff. This discussion is going to be about the problems that I have with the Adam and Eve story. And this is pertaining to a lot of people that try to use the X and the Y. This is not for everybody, because some people just have faith and say, I would just believe because that's what the scriptures say, where I have no problem with. But this is just for the people who saying the Adam chromosome Y and the mitochondria Eve, which is the X. You know, so this is the questions that I have amongst that part of if we trying to bring science into the story of Adam and Eve. And the second one is going to be showing that how we actually are part of the earth, we actually are the earth. You see what I'm saying? We actually is the earth. Let me not say I'm sorry, I'm country, but we actually is the earth. You know what I mean? And the second part is going to be monkeypox. I'm gonna explain what it is, the origin of it, why I say it could be a biological weapon that's used and putting and being tested on people and seeing how far it can spread and what it can do. Not just monkeypox, but other things. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show. I don't want to just talk into it, but let's get to the first video. Peace. This is Eric the Mad Scientist of True Knowledge. Real name Eric True Heart. You can find me on Facebook, Eric the Mad Scientist of True Knowledge. You can go to my YouTube, Life Death Conflict TV. You can go to my TikTok, Eric the Mad Scientist of True Knowledge, and you can go to my Instagram, True Heart 30. Now I want to speak on the Adam and Eve story. Did we come from the earth and what connection we have from the earth and the evidence I have on it. And I'm also going to speak on the breath of life spirit, okay? So what I'm trying to do is merge the two to see if both can work, because I see that one side is only stand on one side. So I'm trying to see if I can even put it together, all right? So these are a lot of theories and stuff. Don't take it as no fact, okay? Firstly, like I said, God and spirituality is really outside of science. And a lot of times, science is outside of spirituality and God. You know what I mean? Both of them, meaning both of them go against each other, but both of them wasn't made to really fight each other. Now, let's go to the first Adam and Eve, right? Now, even if you, because this is the people now, if you believe in a God and you don't believe in those science, you believe God has made Adam and Eve, this is not for you. This is for the people who really going into science and saying, talking about the mitochondria Eve and why Adam. And this is why I say, if we're going by that, we cannot say that Adam and Eve was the only two people unless you're saying, unless you're speaking on incest. And this is why I say this. Mitochondrial Eve, Y chromosome X, right? What does the X and Y make? The X and Y makes only boys. So therefore, all way they would be making is boys. The only way you're going to make another woman is if one of the sons made it with Eve. Other than that, it had to be another woman somewhere else, because I heard a story of people saying, well, they had other children, but they only had boys, because you have to explain to me, how did that woman come around, unless you're talking about incest. And we know what incest does, okay? And that's like really tight blood, because that's like ancient times. All right, let's go to something. Let's go to this. So the X and Y creates only boys, right? No woman yet. So there had to be another woman for Abel, or not Abel was dead, but Seth Cain to marry. So, and plus that's why they had to explain to you that Cain had a woman. So this is what I'm trying to get people to understand. All right. But now, our connection to Earth, right? Now this is just my evidence that I'm showing, where I say that I believe that yes, we are connected to Earth, and not only that we are connected to Earth, we are a form of Earth, a form of Earth. What did he say about that? All right, let's check this out. Wonderopolis, right? That's the website. I just like the way they broke this down. Have you ever heard that a person is a product of their environment? In many ways, it's true. Often, this means the people are influenced by the people of cultures they live in. But it also more literal meaning. Humans are influenced by the inhabited Earth, planet Earth. If you think about the human body, we are a lot like the planet Earth. What do they have in common? We can think of major similarities. Okay, it says we also need water. We need the water from the Earth. And did you know, on Earth, this is a pretty obvious from space, you can tell that 71% of the planet is water. Many don't realize, though, that water also makes up 60% of the human body. That's why it's important to drink water every day. It helps keep the body healthy. All right, now check this out. It's way more similarities to that. There's way more similarities to that. Don't run nowhere. Let's check this out. On Earth, this is pretty obvious. I mean, the similarities don't stop there. Though, have you learned about veins and arteries in school? These blood vessels work as a part of circulatory system. They move blood throughout your body to help keep you alive. The similarities are rivers and streams trying to carry water through the planet, playing a role in sustaining life on Earth. Now, did you hear that? Meaning the veins, how your arteries work, flowing and taking the blood through your body is the same way that the river works of going through the earth and replenishing the earth and the grass and the trees and other areas. Come on now. If you look outside, you will see that it look like veins going through the earth. All right, it's common sense. In fact, both human body and planet have several connected systems and support life. Okay, respiratory, digestive, reproductive, musculoskeletal, nervous, and immune systems all play important roles in human life. The planet's stability relies on the balances of its air, water, land, and life systems. Do you hear that? So it's saying the way we had to breathe, our digestive system, the reproductive system, the earth have the same type of things and depend on different things like water, land, and air and systems to work. So the earth is a living being. It's a living being, y'all. You see what I'm saying? It's a living being. It's just like us. So you think that ain't enough? All right, let me give you some more. There's one big similarity between the human body and planet Earth that we haven't mentioned yet. They're both diverse ecosystems. Earth is a home to at least 8.7 million species. A smaller scale, the human body hosts about 10,000 species. 10,000 species on the human body. Did you not hear that? It's 8.7 species on Earth. Do you see the connections? Do you see the similarities? Like, come on, y'all. Yes, you read that right. 10,000 different forms of life may be living on your body right now. In fact, experts say that 90% of the cells in the body are not human. Instead, they belong to other organisms. Most of the time, the organisms that live in the human body are harmless. Some even do important jobs to keep people healthy, but others, like some viruses, bacteria, can make the body sick. Similarly, on life on Earth can impact the planet in negativity ways. It's important for humans to be aware the way they treat the planet. We should all do best to keep Earth healthy. Now, what would they say? Keep Earth healthy. Come on now. I hate when they do this. Okay. All right. Of course, the human body and planet Earth are also made from the same elements. In fact, we share 97% of our atoms in common with the rest of the galaxy. Oxygen accounts for more weight than any other element in both Earth and the human body. It's no coincidence that humans are made from the elements most common on planet Earth. After all, we are a product of our environment. If you spend more time thinking about it, bet you come up with even more similarities. So it's speaking on how we have veins and arteries and the earth works the same way. How we depend on certain things for reproduction, digestive, all that, and earth depends on the same type of thing. They all in different forms, but it's a similarity to it of how it works. That's why the one that made the wooden clock, they said he based a lot of it off the body. The cars built off the body. And earth will have things work. How things move, have things had to depend on the other thing. You see what I'm saying? Let me get to the last thing. We're talking about oxygen. Now we can get to the oxygen, right? When it speaks on, let me get to the verse. All right. Let me get what I say right here. Okay, okay, okay. All right, here you go. All right. Breath of life, oxygen, breath, Nasima, Strong's, Fat 5397. This word literally means inhalation, exhalation of air in our bodies. All right, let's go to the verse because people are not understanding. They saying the spirit because of a New Testament of both getting mixed. Spirit has now definitions has changed over time. It went from a certain thing to something else. So now we have to go to the form of when they were talking about spirit when they say in Genesis, not in the New Testament. See, that's the problem we had to have. We had to split the two and understand the two are coming from a different aspect. Okay, so oxygen, breath, Nasima, 5397 Strongs. This word literally means the inhalation and exhalation of air in our bodies. Now, the breath of life that I'm talking about is in Genesis. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and that man became a living being. A living being, meaning the breath of life is oxygen. Okay, is oxygen. That's what he put inside of us. That's what forms us and makes us alive. You cut that off, you're automatically dead. It's what make the heart move and live, and it was make the brain live. Okay, so it's oxygen. Now, when you pregnant, you come through the mother womb. That's why they say living because you're dependent on the oxygen, the breath of life. All right. All Earth's oxygen does not come from the trees. Rather, the atmospheric oxygen that depends on the human comes predominantly from the ocean. In photosynthesis, plants capture sunlight and use the energy to split carbon dioxide and water, making sugar for itself and releasing oxygen by a byproduct. Okay, so what this telling you is the ocean, the trees all work together. They create an oxygen for us. We breathe it in. We give the trees back life by pulling on giving them carbon dioxide, right? So now, what I'm trying to say is the oxygen is our, that's why I said the soul is the subconscious, where the subconscious is, because the oxygen means breath. But when it got to the New Testament, it started meaning spirit or soul, like a entity that's outside the body. Okay. So I hope you learn these three things, take into account of what I'm saying, build on it. You want to debunk it, whatever you want to do, but there's things that I just put up together to give an understanding of why. Because I don't have to believe in nothing fully. I don't have to believe in the biblical fully, and I don't have to believe in science fully. Because I go by common sense and I go at what makes sense and what when I see it, what can it really prove? Okay, peace out. Yeah, Pleasant Beach. Yeah, I agree. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was explaining to her, but I just was coming from a scientific more to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Um that us coming from the earth and being connected to the earth is actually science that can connect that too. You know what I mean? Because like I tell people, and that's why I'm glad Unc admitted to it, that they are that's their theory of how they think life started on Earth. They don't know nothing before that, and they don't. He said they can't dis in evolution is not to disown God. So this is our place to when we put the spiritual side in because science don't have a spiritual side. They don't understand it, so they call it false. Just because they call it false don't mean it don't exist. And this is what we got to realize. But this next presentation, this gonna be about smallpox, man, because it's spreading a little bit around like in Virginia right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody that literally got it, but I'm trying to show people that these things can be released on this, man, and how I know and can show proof that I know they can do it and they have the technology to do it and how they do it. And basically just showing the origin of smallpox and what it is and stuff like that, just to get people aware. And I did this with the COVID. And I told people that man, is a foreign flu, is a foreign flu, is a foreign pneumonia, is foreign cold that comes from another animal. And I'm gonna show how most viruses comes from animals. You see what I'm saying? Like the smallpox. We will get into it.
Shalom, Nehemiah. Shalom, Cluster.
Oh yeah, shalom Nehemiah. Shalom plus beats. And anyone else on the panel that's watching. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the education up, man. I'm trying to get us to start talking about shit that's going on now. There's the things that we can fix. How we can fix our where we at, man. At least make us uh live a little better. I understand the oppression, I understand the curses, but these things can be broken, even if you believe it or not. Let's go to the monkeypox. All right, hold on. I can't with this. All right. Monkeypox, the origin, what it is, how does it spread, and was it released on us? Okay. Let's go to the first beginning. What is monkeypox? Monkeypox is caused by monkeypox virus, a member of the orthopox virus genus in the family Poxvidae. Monkeypox is usually a self-limited disease with the symptoms lasting 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, and this what I'm trying to tell you. These things come from animals, man, and that's how they can extract it, man. They can extract it for these fucking animals. They don't call these things that for no reason. They don't call it the cow disease and the monkey virus and the COVID plus that came from the bat. Y'all don't you got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's called biological warfare. We will get to it. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. The origin of monkeypox. Monkeypox was discovered in 1958 when two outbreaks of the pox-like disease occurred in colonies of monkeys kept for research despite being named monkeypox. The source of the disease remains unknown. However, African rodents and non-human primates like monkeys might harbor the virus and affect people. The first human case of monkeypox was recorded in 1970 prior to the 2022 outbreak. Monkeypox has been reported in people in several Central and Western African countries. Previously, almost all monkeypox cases and then people outside of Africa were linked up to international travel to countries where the disease commonly occurs or through imported animals. And the reason I showed it because a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people was laughing when I said the smallpox came from a rodent. They like, what? What? The Black Plague came from rodents. Y'all better start understanding what these, you know what I'm saying, how they can extract a lot of these viruses and use them as weapons, and these weapons turn into viruses to a point where we think it's common. Like the cold is a virus, but we don't have it. People, most humans have it so long they think that's a common thing to have. Or I just got a cold, but they don't understand at a certain point of time that cold was killing people through not vaccines but immunization. And then they did have certain real vaccines. I mean, I can't say the vaccines didn't work because it stopped certain things, but let's go to the next one. The disease was declared eradicated from the earth in 1980 following in a worldwide vaccination program. The last naturally occurred case of smallpox in the world occurred in 1977 in Somalia. The last case in the United States was in 1949, and the last cases in Illinois were recorded in 1947. All known Varroa virus stocks are held frozen in the secure faculties at the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and at the State Research Center in Russia, Illinois Department of Public Health. So this is not no type of new disease either. This is the disease that been going on. They just wasn't in a certain. They was in a certain place, and basically only certain people was getting it. So of course, as us being spoiled Americans, we a lot of us don't look outside of America and see what's going on. Okay, we go to the next slide, and then remember it said that they took monkeys for research. So hey, I'm just saying, listen to these words. What is biological warfare? The term biological warfare typically conjures image of medieval warriors tossing dead cattle over city walls or clandestine government agents secretly releasing um, mysterious microbes into enemy territory, or of course biological warfare does encompass such activity, but the vast majority of what constitutes biological warfare is far more mundane. Ever since life evolved on Earth about 3.8 billion years ago, organisms have constantly devised new ways to kill each other. Any organism that that makes use of toxins from the bacteria into snakes and engage in the form of biological warfare. Humans who engage in biological warfare do so by taking advantage of these toxin producing organisms. That's what I mean. This is how it started. Think about it. In the old times, they basically was doing the same thing with biological warfare, throwing dead bodies or dead horses and animals over, knowing that it would create some type of disease or virus. You see what I'm saying? This is the things they've been new. So what they do is but when you go to war, right? When you go to war and keep going to war and keep going to war, your technology as for war base and warfare is going to always increase. That's why when they came to certain places from Europe, they didn't have the natural resources, they didn't have the material, but they had the weaponry because they always went to war. They always was evading each other. They always was doing these things. So by the time they got to the people who was peaceful, who was trading, it was wars here and there, but we was trading, we was doing a lot of things. And when they came with weaponry that we wasn't used to because of the wars they was having with each other. All right, let's go to the next. How was it used? The term biological warfare typically conjures oh, I already did that. I must put that back into there. You can go to the next one. All right, this is history of the people using natural animal diseases on human populations, right? History of the smallpox used as a weapon on natives took for African rodents and also slaves on the boats. Carnal weapons and smallpox against Native Americans was first reported by 19th century historian Francis Parkman. Virologists have speculated that it evolved from an African rodent pox virus 10 millimeter ago. Second way it was passed, smallpox also entered the colonies on slave ships transmitted by enslaved people who impact unsanitary quarters, passed the disease along to another and eventually on colonists at their destinations. Now, they seeing how they try to use it a weapon. Now think about it, you used to hear the stories of them putting the smallpox on the blanket and trying to kill the Native Americans, which we know was not true because at that time they didn't have it advanced enough to know how to really do it. But they did take it and was able to put it on the blanket, but it was not effective. Okay, but I'm just showing the point of how they been knew how to extract things and use it as weapons as far as wild viruses. And see, it's like people grew up and listening to that, but you don't really think about it. Like, think about it. They took a virus, they took something and put it on a blanket. Okay, so they was already, this is in back in what, 14, 15, 1600, I don't even know. It's hundreds of years ago. So what you think they know how to do now easily? They probably know how to extract that virus and release that shit like it's fucking going to elementary school and learning 2 and plus 2. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, what does smallpox do? Smallpox is a very serious, contagious, and sometimes fatal disease caused by a virus. It characteristically includes skin lesions and scabs that at times have been confused for chickenpox. The disease occurs only among humans and is passed from person to person. Smallpox can cause a severe rash over the whole body that can leave scars. Other symptoms include high fever, several headache, and body aches. Death occurs in about 30% of the affected people. Some survivors may suffer blindness. Illinois Department of Public Health. Okay, so that's the thing that they think about it. They was using this shit and trying to spread it among the people because the people never had it. It was a foreign virus, which means it was 10 times more dangerous to them new people that have it to them. They could survive it because they had it so long with them that they came immune to it to a point where it wasn't killing them. So now they're bringing it amongst the people who don't have it. That's literally a natural biological warfare. Without them even having to do anything, they was carrying it themselves and they gave it to another people, and the people got sick of it. And they understood that that shit could be used as a weapon because they've been doing it. They've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So think about it, taking shit and using it as a virus, using it as a weapon and release it on the people that ain't never been had this disease. So how you think they're gonna act? Or they're gonna die like they're gonna drop like flies, man. Now let's go to the next one. All right, look, anthrax. What they used to call anthrax, cow disease, cattle, sheep, and goats. Clinical signs, paracute anthrax is in cattle and sheep and goats include staggering, trembling, breathing difficulty, convulsions, death. Progression of the disease is rapid, and premonitory signs may go unnoticed. Often, animals are found dead, bloated, and without rigor mortis. Blood blood may fall in a clot because of a toxin released by B. anthracis. Acute anthrax manifests itself in high fevers, excitement, increased heart rate, depending on respiration, followed by depression, incredation, insatiation of rumination, reduction in milk production, discolored milk, blood tinged and deep yellow, blood discharge, respiratory distress, convulsions, abortion, and death for 48 to 72 hours. Hey, do you hear this shit? My bad, but do you hear this stuff? Do you hear what it's doing? Do we hear what it is? Man, this is what I've been trying to tell people, bro. They can release stuff. They can put stuff in our waters. They can put stuff in our foods. I tell people, how can you go to war with the people who you can depend on? How? Because they can literally kill you. They can kill you slow. They can kill you torturous because you're depending on them for to eat. And I'm gonna show you how they are actually doing that. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, y'all don't understand the chemicals ain't just, oh, I get sick of that. Oh, I'm throwing, man, it says abortion, depression. Because these things attack your brain. It's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than just getting it down. It does a lot of stuff to you. That's why the Flint water, I'm trying to tell people that the Flint water is controlling a lot of things of the brain and can make you even become more violent and more crazy because we don't know what the chemicals doing. Because a lot of us don't understand chemicals. All right, we'll go to the next one. Damn, is that it? Yeah, but I think she's going about to go back to it. But yeah, we got to wake up to that, man. We got to wake up to what how they're killing us different ways. Like I tell people, spiritually, mentally, and physically. We can't just wake up mentally, man. We got to wake up all ways for us to be in one body again. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one that's still stuck in the matrix. There's a little bit after that. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. All right, go in. Yeah, right there. Anthrax used as a weapon. Go to that part. Yeah. All right, this is anthrax used as a weapon. Of course, we know. Remember when anthrax came out? But a lot of people didn't realize that it's an animal disease that somebody took out and used as a weapon. Anthrax. Because it's kind of small, so God give me a 10. Anthrax makes a good weapon because it can be released quietly and without anyone knowing. The microscopic spores could be put into powder, sprays, food, water because they are so small. You might not be able to see, smell, or taste them. Anthrax has been used as a weapon before. Anthrax has been used as a weapon around the world for nearly a century. In 2001, powdered anthrax spores were deliberately put in ladders that were mailed into the U.S. postal system. 22 people, including 12 mail handlers, got anthrax, and 5 of these 22 people died. That is literally what you call somebody declaring biological warfare on somebody. They took it, a virus, created it into a form, a powdery form to kill people. When they touch it and everything, they get the same virus that the animal got because they know how to distract it from them. We gotta understand who you messing with. I tell people all the time, they always tell me, I'm gonna go get, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, we go rebel up. Man, you don't even know who your enemy is. You don't even know how smart your enemy is. You don't even understand that your enemy controls you. And I ain't talking about racial. I ain't talking about black and white. I'm talking about the people in power has us in control, and they are more than just one race of people. Is everybody is benefiting off of our backs and off of the poor races that's here because we spend the most money. We the money that makes them rich. Any capitalism that you see, the poor makes the rich richer and the poor gets poorer. That's all it's about. And they willing to sacrifice you by putting experiments on you, by releasing things on you, and you just don't even know. And then when somebody speak on it, the first thing that people do is call them conspiracy theory, even though conspiracy theories means nothing, but we just don't believe everything they tell us. But they're using a negative word like we're crazy. We're not crazy because we can actually show you the things that they did. There's no way you think I'm crazy when I talked about the MK Ultra. When I actually showed you somebody that was under MK Ultra, he became a don. He ended up killing people after that, taking over shit for 25 years. And then soon he got to prison as an old man. They killed him. This is the stuff that they do. Y'all better wake up. You're in a real matrix, and y'all about to be in another form of a matrix inside of a matrix once this virtual reality come out. That's another thing I'm gonna talk about later in the future. Because these are things we're not paying attention to. We got to start paying attention to the technology they're doing because they ain't just making technology to advance the country. They're making technology to keep up people in power and keep another people at their low level. It ain't no coincidence that all these rich people got all this money, but they ain't taking care of the communities. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence all these rappers is dying. It's not a coincidence when we showed crack in the 90s, everybody went to jail. None of this stuff is coincidences. They're systematic things that they created to test on us and see. They've been doing it since the beginning of time, man. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, this is another anthrax weapon. Anthrax attack could take many forms. For example, it could be placed in ladders and mailed. It was done in 2001 and it could be put into food and water. Anthrax also could be released into the air from a truck, building, or plane. This type of attack would mean that anthrax spores could easily be blown around by the wind and carried on people's clothes, shoes, and other objects. It only takes a small amount of anthrax to affect a large number of people. Ooh, did you hear that? That's more deadly than any weapon you ever hear. They can release this stuff and this stuff can touch your clothes and then I can touch you. I can give you dap and that. I'm trying to tell you, man. If anthrax spores was released into the air, people could breathe them in and get sick with anthrax. Inhalation anthrax is the most serious form and can kill quickly if not treated immediately. If the attack were not detected by one of the moderating systems in the place in the United States, it might go unnoticed until doctors began to see unusual patterns of illness among sick people showing up at the emergency room. Now, I don't know how much people, I'm pretty sure everybody might age up. Y'all remember when anthrax was out, but we didn't really know. We understood there was some type of powder they called it cow disease. I mean, that's all I understood. But once I started understanding the viruses, it made me amazed to how, wow, they took this disease that's actually animal disease, created it into a form, a powder form, to use it as a weapon to be able to kill people and spread it. That is called evil science, mad science. Matter of fact, we can go to the next one. Now this. Sought the deadliest weapon toward the so-called black race. Now, this is what I'm trying to tell people. And let me read this part first before I say it. In 2020 2021, dietary guidelines for America recommended that Americans consume less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day and part of their healthy eating pattern. And that's why I had to realize this. Salt and sugar is the greatest weapon that they created that can control a population without people even knowing, and dispopulate without people even knowing. And that's why I say this. You're supposed to only have 23 milligrams of sodium in it, salt. I looked up just one restaurant. I ain't even gonna say the restaurant because I don't want to get sued. I ain't got no money, but who cares? But I'm gonna say a restaurant I looked up. The burger, the fries, the drink alone. Now check this out. You only supposed to have 2,300 milligrams. If you got high blood pressure, you only have supposed to have 1,200 milligrams, right? The burger, fries, and drink alone, I think was 3,200 milligrams. So what are you saying, mad scientist? What I'm saying is that one meal is 2 times more of the intake you're supposed to take in one day. So imagine more people that I know, they don't go eat one day. So you go to the restaurant, then you go to another restaurant, you don't eat almost 6,000 milligrams of sodium when you're only supposed to have 1/4 of that shit. So you don't put in 2 days, you don't put in 4 days of salt in you. And what happens is your blood pressure go high, which we don't even understand what that means. When your blood pressure go high, that shit can shut down your organs. That shit can give you a heart attack. It causes blood clots. It causes strokes. The main two things that kill a black person in America is from salt and then from sugar. Trust me, I know. I go to heart attack. Trust me, I know. Means the peace, and you're seeking peace with Sadnetta. If not, how are you a Muslim? Oh, well, I don't know what that means. I ain't got to do with that. That talking about. But I'm just saying, salt is a deadly thing, and sugar. They don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Yes, we need it as part of our body, but they control it to where you consume it, and they can easily kill you with it and slowly kill you with it. They can control your lifespan just off of the forms of salt and sugar too, because you keep consuming that salt, you gonna have blood pressure, and that blood pressure gonna affect you if you don't fix it. I don't care who you are. This is why people like Dr. Sebi, they was trying to tell us about how to eat. They don't want you to learn how to eat because what? You're gonna have to keep going to the hospital, you're gonna have to keep doing this, you're gonna have to keep doing this. And it's to a point where you barely can get any natural things, man. Because he ran for me instead of having measured discussion. Oh, okay, they talking about back chat. But yeah, let me know if anybody got any questions. But do I got any more slides, or is that the last one? Oh, okay. This is what I was just saying, how they use themselves as weapon. I was saying, do you know the things that they brung over here? Okay, as I'm saying, as far as like, I'm just saying the history part of when Europeans came to America. I'm gonna say I forgot how much it is. I think it's like 55, 65 things that they brought over here. Natives have no antigens or antibodies. Yeah, but see what they did with the natives, right? They got sick, right? And so what they did is when they caught a lot of the natives, they didn't kill them off. They Europeanized them, right? And when I mean Europeanized them, meaning they put them in a place, they put American clothes on them, they made them speak English, and then when they got sick, they put medicine on them. And if you really study on medicine, a lot of times medicine can be a later thing that causes like alcoholism and drugs. You see what I'm saying? Because all you got to do is give them that type. Because I don't know if y'all know, but back in the day, they was putting all type of shit in medicine. You know what I'm saying? Like straight drugs. But what I'm saying, yeah, the European that the judgment on the Gentiles would come. There's only one enemy, and it is ourselves. I agree. There's nothing but love and abundance in the universe. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get it back to. I'm trying to get it back to us. You know what I mean? We even though we don't have a lot of we have a lot of arguments and stuff, man. We need to get back together and start doing shit, man. Going back to communities, just start doing shit again. Just start helping each other out, and it's not getting to that no more. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just want to argue and beef, man, and that's what I'm trying to get it out of. It's getting to a point where we love drama. We love the bad things that's going on. But like the Bible said, people will start saying good is bad, and bad is good. And that's what's going on. And oh yeah, but this is what the European brung. This is just some of them. Like the main things that you get, like the common code, came from people who brought it to another people. It is not a natural thing that everybody's supposed to have. And many people don't know that, and many people don't understand that. So when they saying that people came over, they didn't kill them off like that. You know what I'm saying? Who drunk their proper amount each day for the week, for the month? Exactly. People don't even know how much intake. We don't even know how much protein we really supposed to have, how much iron we're supposed to have in our body, how much vitamins and B12, and you see what I'm saying. And it's a lot of stuff I starting to learn about. You know what I'm saying? We don't know about like how much like sodium, how much carbs, what carbs do, what sodium do, how they put a lot of stuff under different names. Yeah, if anybody want to come on the chat, y'all can come on. I don't do no, I'm not a debating person. I'm a building person. So if you want to just come and debate, then you go to somewhere else and do that shit. But if you want to build with me, we can build. Build don't mean we have to agree. Build me learning from each other and open our minds up enough that we can hear each other speak and learn from it. And we ain't got this disagreement because I don't want to be wrong. That's what I mean by build. You can come on, Mike. I want to hear what you got to say about the health thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but that's why I showed these different things. I'm gonna recap when I showed the Adam and Eve thing. Just might come on. If you're talking about the X and the chromosome, Adam Y, and the mitochondrial Eve X, you had to explain a lot of how did they create woman, and some people might get an explanation for that. And then I went to show how we actually are connected to the earth and actually is the earth. We're walking earth, and the earth represents us. You see what I'm saying? And what was the third one? Oh, oxygen. I showed how the life of breath of life, the spirit is actually just oxygen. And then this part was the monkeypox, the history of it, the origin, and biological warfare. You know what I mean? See, I just bring out truth, man. You know what I mean? I bring out truth. That's why people say they learn from me, because I tell people, man, when people say they prophets, man, you got to listen to some of the people, because you don't go by what a person says. You don't go by how a person live. You go by what a person says and does it come. That's how you know you're prophets. And people get mad when I say I'm one. But prophet don't mean I'm a great person. Prophet means God chose me to send messages. And God chose me to send warnings. And that's what I do. You know, I sent the warning about how the murder rate is gonna rise before it did, because of the drill music. I talked about a lot of other different things that happened, and it came into fruition. And a lot of other people talked about it. I ain't saying I'm the only one. So y'all better start listening to people. Y'all better start, when somebody tell you something and it comes true, you better start listening to the person. I ain't saying listen to them like a slave under them and listen to every word, but you better start listening. If somebody told me, oh man, I think something told me this is gonna happen, and then the next day or the next week or the next month it happened, I'm gonna go back and see what he talking about, how he know this. You know, man, people don't understand that, because people don't really believe in God, and I believe that. Like, most people don't really believe in God, as far as really believing what they supposed to believe. Nobody's supposed to be able to. That's why I don't debate on my creator. Why? I'm not betting on my creator at all. I'm not gonna risk my I'm not gonna risk myself to go and believe what you believe when both of us don't know at all. None of y'all know who God is, and none of us know who God knows. None of us know who the creator is. Period. We can say all we want to. You don't know. You ain't seen him. I ain't seen him. It's all belief. We got to understand he always going to be bigger than we can ever imagine. That's why we just say he's all. When you want to see the creator, look at the trees, look at you. You are the greatest creation ever made on earth. You let these people try to tell you come from this and this and that, like you're not important on this earth, when you are. You could destroy this earth by the things that we are destroying this earth by the things that we're doing. We literally can destroy this earth or help this earth live. We literally plant the seeds of trees to grow. We literally do that. The animals do not have more power for us, because we run them out their homes. They literally go extinct because of us. I'm just saying, a lot of people can't deny the truth. A lot of people can't fight the truth. And that's why you don't see a lot of people coming at me and saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. But if they do say they far away, I'm just, and that's not even me trying to say I know everything. That's because I really believe in God, and God showed me, and I believe God gave me gifts, and I use it. And I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to get views. I'm not here to do none of that. Can you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? Cain. Cain, that's all I can do. You know what I'm saying? If I save two people or one person a week, and people, I ain't gonna say save, but I wake up, want two people a week, and they say, man, thank you. I learned a lot from you. I learned something from you. I don't, you don't have to look at me and learn everything from me. I want you to wake up and learn yourself. Stop listening to these people like they are better than you. They are not. None of these people got labs. None of these people got nothing. Half of these people ain't got even the degrees to even call themselves what they call themselves. So I'm just telling y'all better start paying attention to yourself, man. Paying attention to what you believe and what you understand and what you research. Because I don't care what you is. You ain't gotta be a Christian. You could be an African, Pan-Africanist. You could be a Kemetic. If you start going under one man and listening to what that man said and acting like he is the one that has the full truth, you're gonna be lost. Just like a lot of these people are today. Because everything they say ain't gonna make, it's not meant for one person just to know everything, because you're gonna question things. And when you get to a point, once you start looking to these people up to these people like they're a certain level, you're gonna stop questioning. You get scared to question them. Trust me, I don't been in a situation where I tried to go in and I was like, man, I don't believe this part. And I tried to question it, and they said, I'm not gonna get the group out because I said I won't go speak on these people no more. But they said, man, don't ask no question. You just listen, and we know the truth, and we already did. We've been here since such and such, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna sit here and just listen to anybody. That's why I left the church at 12 years old. You're not gonna just tell me anything. And I've never been like a person like that. I've always been on my own. You're not gonna control me. You're not gonna tell me what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I'm one of the most loyal niggas to you though. I'm a niggas that ride with you. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm riding right now, because it's like it's getting to a point where we all beefing, we all fighting, we all arguing. When are we gonna get together? I know it don't sound interesting to you, but it's reality. When the hell we gonna get together? Person tried to tell me we had a nation. Where is the nation? Okay, the Mona is doing their thing. But when you saying you in America talking about we a nation, show me this. Because we have no land as a people, we have no laws as a people. We don't have the laws over the land. We barely can even follow the culture in this motherfucker. So tell me how we are a nation. Because a nation really means something. That's why they went over into the morning and they creating a nation. They trying to grow their own food. They're trying to produce their own law over their land. This is what you're supposed to do, create a nation. We got so spoiled, man, that all we doing is talking and we not doing nothing. When are we gonna do? When we gonna start going back to the footwork? Because their plan is to keep us out the fucking streets and make us sit in these goddamn social medias all day and really don't do nothing. That's what we gonna do. When we gonna start connecting to the people that's actually got programs out here? I seen a little girl, she was 17 years old, got a program out in Chicago of gun violence. I ain't seen nobody talk about her yet. I don't put a post of her. Ain't nobody said, oh, let's go connect with her. Let's go see how we can put that over here, because now that gun violence is everywhere now. That drill music is everywhere. They kill your kid, they kill your grandkids, they kill everything now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This shit is becoming wicked, and it's becoming wickeder and wickeder. And while we sitting there looking at social media and worrying about people smacking each other, and this artist that don't care nothing about you, and this person being overseas, look what happening to right in front of your face, and you're doing nothing about it. And y'all know it's the truth, and ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm lying. And ain't nobody fool enough to tell me I'm lying. That's why you better come back to the creator, man. You better come back to the creator. You better start put your whole trust in them, because this shit is becoming wicked. If y'all don't see it, then you part of the problem. And that's all I'm trying to really say, you know what I mean? I don't know where the rest of the people are at, but hey, we gonna keep teaching over here. We gonna keep doing real teaching. So when y'all get tired of all that arguing and the soap operas y'all following, when y'all want to learn something, teach your kids something, let your kids say, hey, let's watch this video of these brothers that's trying to teach. Come back here. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm focused on. Y'all focus on who arguing with who and who fussing with who and who fighting with who and who don't like who. And that's all it is. Y'all part of the problem, but you're calling yourself certain things and being in certain groups. And we got to wake the hell up out of that. We grown men, man. We grown men and we claiming that we under God, and we gotta start acting like that shit. And we gotta go to people who ain't acting like that shit and let them know, if you ain't gonna be acting like you a man of God, then you can't keep claiming that shit. Because it's making us look bad as a whole. We're looking bad as a whole when we just allowing these people to be the face of Israelites and saying this and saying all this crazy stuff, and then we ain't checking them. And then y'all knowing the people that's really trying to teach, that's really trying to build. I'm trying to build with people. But you know what? Nobody wants to build. People want to just debate. And this is what I mean. And then when you can't find nothing you can debate me about, you just ignore it. This is the problem with us. Instead of saying, man, this man telling some truth, and let's go build, let's go do some shit, is, oh man, I don't want to hear that because you can't say nothing bad about it. So y'all better start watching who y'all listening to because a lot of these people want to keep going, want you to keep on this prolonged beefing and arguing with people and fuss with people about shit that don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. When we're gonna start talking about the violence, the molestation, the trafficking, all the shit that's going on in the communities is and going on to our people? When are we gonna start going back to that? When are you gonna start caring? And I guess it's never gonna do it because it's processed for you never to do it. So I'm just telling people that can't get out the prophecy, to understand this prophecy, understand you in the matrix, understand you better get out this matrix before this matrix get exposed and crushed, and you be inside of the matrix. You know, y'all stand with me, man, and build up. But that's all I really got. That's all I'm gonna say. You got anything to say, Kareem?
No, not at all. That was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, you know, like I said, I call people, I'm Mike Tyson. I just hit them out real quick and just leave.
That's
But
right.
yeah, but y'all, you know what I'm saying? We gonna start getting better, man. We gonna start getting better. You know, it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna fall. It's gonna be a lot of people that we gonna be disappointed, man. But the only person you should trust is in yourself. Period. All right, peace out. Shalom.
Peace.